It's being called the largest humanitarian crisis since 1945. 20 million people facing starvation and famine. And while the calls to action are being issued, very few are answering.
11 months ago, we were not talking about famine. But about a month ago, famine was declared in South Sudan.
OGOLA works with World Vision Canada and has been in South Sudan for nearly a year. She says the conditions are getting worse every day.
Basically, the situation has deteriorated over the time. For instance, the inflation rate has really risen, and we're talking about 900% or so since in the last 11 months, yeah?
Which means people in the world's youngest country simply can't afford the food at market. And the drought and years of battle have ensured what food is available is scarce.
We stand at a critical point in our history. Already at the beginning of the year, we are facing the largest humanitarian crisis since the creation of the United Nations.
Because the problem transcends borders, hitting Yemen, where more than 18 million people need aid after years of conflict. And in northeast Nigeria, where the Boko Haram has driven 2.6 million people from their homes. And then there's Somalia, where more than half the population need humanitarian assistance in order to ensure their survival. But the civil wars in South Sudan is getting exceptionally close to genocide, despite its president's denials.
The famine in South Sudan is man-made. The parties to the conflict are parties to the famine, as are those not intervening to make the violence stop.
Aid efforts have increased, but it's not enough. Because while developed nations tend to open their wallets in cases of natural disasters where the cause and effect are obvious, they're slower to react when the crisis has been building for some time, although the devastation is no less tragic.
The overall requirement for South Sudan this year stands at $1.6 billion US dollars.
The Canadian government has pledged to continue its aid to the region. Last year, Canada provided $45 million in humanitarian aid to South Sudan alone. And non-governmental organizations are on the ground. Groups like UK-based Save the Children, Oxfam, and Mississauga-based World Vision Canada are all accepting donations. Near Yonge and Dundas, Christina Howarren, City News.